You're listening to the North Parkway Podcast, weekly talks designed to help you take the next step in your spiritual journey. You can learn more about our church at northparkway.org. And if these talks are helpful to you, consider using the link in the description to give. Your financial support helps us continue to make great content. All right, well, that's enough intro. Let's get to today's talk.
Well, good morning, sons and daughters of the Most High God. It's so good to be with you this morning and to be in the presence of the Lord already. When my boy, Pastor Chris, had said that you all are going to be studying lessons from the Old Testament. And we're going to be talking about things that we can learn from those who have gone before us. I said, well, if I have just maybe 90 seconds, I'm going to share one of my very favorite things from the Old Testament. You can read about it in the book of Kings or the book of Chronicles. It was at a time when the Assyrian army was coming against Israel. It's still happening today, so it's more relevant than you know. The Assyrian army was coming against Israel. And the prophet in the land in that day was Elisha, or Elisha, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Elisha had his, he was mentoring a young man named Gehazi. And so many things had happened that every time the Assyrian army came against Israel, Elisha would prophesy this to the king of Israel, let him know exactly what was coming. The armies of Israel were prepared for everything that happened so that when the Assyrians came against them, boom, they were taken out immediately and defeated. So the Assyrian king got really upset and he said, I have got a spy in my camp because every time we go in, they already know what's going to happen. I want that spy. And one of his men came and said, oh, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. There's not a spy in your camp, but it's that prophet Elisha. He's going to the king of Israel and telling him everything that you even say in your bedroom. Now, that may or may not be true, but he said he's telling him everything that you say. So the king of the Assyrians decided to come against Elisha. So one morning, Elisha got up and he went out on his balcony, out on his deck, and he looked out, and there were armies, soldiers, Assyrian army, totally surrounding him, thousands of them, totally surrounding his house and the place where he was staying. And Gehazi came out, and Elisha said, don't worry, Gehazi, there's more with us than there are with them. And Gehazi looked at him like he had lost his marbles, and he said, what do you mean there's more with us? Look at them. Look how many of them. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Elisha said, there are more with us than there are with them. And then Elisha did something. He said, Lord, open his eyes that he can see that there are more of us and that you are with us. At times in our lives when we feel like everything is coming against us, there is an unseen realm that is at work, that is there whether you can see it, whether you cannot see it. It is there. It is the almighty force of the Almighty God that is surrounding you and is surrounding those that are coming against you in those situations that are coming against you. Whether you can see that or whether you cannot, it is there. So he said, Lord, just open his eyes and let him see. And Gehazi's eyes were opened, and he could see all the host and the armies of the Lord surrounding the armies of the Assyrians. And he said, my Lord and my God, the armies of the Lord and the chariots thereof. And on that day, the Lord protected Elisha and Gehazi from every force that was coming against them. And I just want to encourage you today to take that lesson and to know that it does not matter what this life throws at you. Jesus told us, he said, things are going to happen because you live in this world. And you're going to have things that are going to come against you. But be of good cheer because I have overcome the world. I just want to encourage you this morning, if you're in one of those places where it feels like you're just surrounded and you can hardly breathe and things are coming against you, just know that there is a realm of the Spirit that is around you, and there are forces coming from the throne of God that are there to be your assistant. They're there to protect you. They're there to help you. And just be encouraged that there are more with you. And greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Amen.
Hey, this is Pastor Chris again. Thanks for listening. If today's talk was helpful in your spiritual life, odds are there's someone you know who could benefit from it. Take a minute right now to share it with them. And if you live in the area, come try out a service in person, because church is more fun with friends. See you next time.